Hey folks, Dave Parrish here at Knack Builders, doing another video. If you like these videos, I'd ask if you like them on YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube channel. But today's topic, how to keep a history log of your records. Now, what I mean by this, I'm going to give you an example. It's very useful. I use it all the time. This is a school that I'm doing a lot of work for. And this is someone's application. Okay, a parent creates an account, they add their kid, and then they have the kid apply for something, some school to get into. And there's a whole long, complicated process of it. And we track a lot of history, meaning actions that happen to that application. It's a whole process that goes on. But I'm going to give you one example to put it clear. Status history. We want to know what that application is going through and where it is now. And if we ever have an issue with a parent too, this allows us to point directly to it and say, hey, this is what happened on this date, blah, blah. So here's an example. On this date, at this time, an application was created. That means they're working on it. Then the parent submitted it. Here's the parent. And then someone at the school does what's called a verification. It says who did it, time and date. In this case, they did the verification. They checked it out and said, yeah, this kid has been selected to go to this school. And then the final step here is it's been selected and the parent, back to the parent, has accepted it. So now the kid's going to be enrolled. That's what I'm talking about. And it's pretty easy to set up. It shouldn't be too long. It's a process you can do or a setup on anything. So let's go for it. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Let's jump into how to set up an action, track, history log. Here's what you do. I'm going to go to the data side first. Here's our table of applications. This is all information we need for applications. I'm not going to get into that. But to that, we're going to have child records going to create. You can call these whatever you want. This is a status history. That's the one we're going to be dealing with today. You can call it status log. We have one for emails that are sent out. The user has the ability to communicate with the parent, and then it's captured in a log, every email, a number of things. But here's what you do. Applications is the parent. Status history is the child. So we're going to make the connection, the connecting field in the child record, as you almost always should. Status history. We're grabbing time date automatically. We're doing a user. This is who performed the action. It could be a processor at the school, or it could be a parent. And look what we do. What we do is to account. It's usually best when you're captioning who did something to do it to account, because that captures any user role. It can get messy if you have a number of different user roles and you're connecting it to each one of those. That's a whole nother topic, but do it to account. It's easiest and it always catches it. And then we're grabbing some other related stuff. The school, this grab goes to the application and grabs it and puts it in natively. Sometimes it's nice to have it natively. On a child record, you can always go up to the parent record and grab this when you're doing anything, a report, a table. And it's grabbing, you'll see, it's just grabbing a handful of stuff that's useful to know to see how that application is flowing through the process. So here's, again, put the connection to the application in the status history. Now, let's go to the pages side. I'm going to do this. That's not it. Let's go back here. Sorry about this. Pages side, right here, application details. This doesn't matter. I don't need to show you how to navigate this. Let's have it render here. Come on. Let's go Knack. Down here, right here. These are various things. Update status. This page I showed you before where the statuses are, this is where it is here. So this is a department processor. They got handed an application. via the system here, and they got to go do stuff to it. And this, what they first do is this verification process. Then, and I'm not going to get into that workflow, but here's when it's time to update the status. They go to the details of that. This is that form. These are all these various statuses, but and all they have to do is select it. Let's go to the rules. That's what we're going to deal with. Rules. Record rules. So when they do this, they insert it. The key is insert a connected record. This is a really useful. Insert a connected record, in this case to that table, status history. This is the child table. You know, it wants to grab this variable information. It's grabbing the date. It's grabbing whoever performed this action, the logged in account. That's a really useful thing in all kinds of ways. It's grabbing the status and putting it in this connected record. So whatever they select, it's moving it to that. And it's grabbing the parent because I want it in there natively. Now, I'm going to put on the side here. Yeah, I guess it's possible someone could open this form and not change anything and submit it again. Especially when we're dealing with thousands of applications. Somehow that could happen. I didn't actually deal with that situation. We haven't had a problem, but I believe you could do this right here. This is a nice thing. If we go to application status and we're going to say has changed, notice that. But you can use this in a lot of places. So if someone were to submit this form with the same status because they just click through it or click happy, has changed. This would prevent this from creating a log that really didn't need to exist. And even if it did exist, you could tell just by looking at it that's what happened because there'd be two logs with different dates and the same status. But that's what you do. That's about it. This can be. I just did this for a government organization that funds the promotion of commodities, beans, potatoes, whatever. There's a bunch of different groups, and they have a long approval process, and they also get this money for the government, and they get audited all the time, and they have to keep a real good, they call it audit trail. Who did what, who approved this, and what date, blah, blah, all through the process. And we do this here too. We just, every time something happens, it captures what we need to know, when, who did it, what. And so when they get audited, they can point right to it instead of before going through files, spreadsheets, and literally paper too. So that's all I got today, folks. I appreciate it. Thanks.